I'll be dealing about the examination of a rape victim and accuser. In the last session, we already spoke about regarding the rape and the sections, and right now we'll be dealing about all the points in a brief concepts here. So let us go with the concepts here. In the sense, like we have already dealt with the rape. In that, you have got accused, right? You got a person known as accuser, and you have got other persons like you got an accused, and you have got a victim also. Accused is the person who rapes, right? So we are going to examine him also, and the person a victim also, but who had been raped, right? We are going to examine her also, right? We are going to examine her and we are going to examine him. So let's see how do we examine him, under what procedure we examine him. So we have got 53A CRPC, right? 53A CRPC. Just remember that to examine, you have to give, just remember that, just try to remember that you have to give 53 rupees for a doctor to examine him, right? The raped accused guy. So no, we are not supposed to take the concern. Can I take? No, nothing. There's no concern needed there. You have to just pull it and do, right? So they're reasonable for the force. There's a reasonable for any other required murder, right? So we have to go do the things. Remember that 53A CRPC, there is no concern needed for that guy. You are not going to ask any concern, right? So next you have to understand, to get the inspector, a minimum level of examination or the minimum level of request should be from the sub inspector, right? Suppose if you are a head constable, you can refuse as per section here. For medical examination, minimum sub inspector should be there, right? And suppose if there is head constable, you can refuse according to the section 53 ACRPC, right? The same section here. And remember that, and sub inspector is the lowest, right? Lowest level where he is the one he comes. The below that nobody is, like minimum sub inspector is. In case of rape, lowest is sub inspector. And let's see how do we examine him actually. So here what do we do is we take iodine, known as Lugol's iodine. What we do, we take that smear of that regarding that. What do we do is we make and fix the smear of a gentle healing cover slip. Okay, so just remember that you take a few cells from his penis and around that, and you just add Lugol's iodine, and when you see under the microscope, you can find some brown color substance, brown color cells. It means that, and these brown color, chocolate color, it's all because of these glycogen. So this indicates that yes, these are the cells of the vaginal cells, right? So that is where one of the ways some vaginal epithelial cells may be found on the penis, right? They contain glycogen content. So when you stain with Lugol's iodine, you can see a brown color. That means on his penis he has got an vaginal epithelial cells. It means that he has done an intercourse recently, right? So this is what you have to understand regarding this Lugol's iodine. And next you have got something known as smegma, right? So what do you mean by smegma here? So you have to understand the smegma. Smegma is nothing but it is a cheesy secretion. Suppose if this is the penis, right? If this is the penis here, right? You can see a cheesy secretion on the penis here. The smegma is present around the glans penis. So you can see this is the glans penis, and you can just observe that a white cheesy secretion on the glans penis, and that is known as smegma, right? So you have to understand that. And these smegma or the cheesy secretions which are present on this a glans penis, right? Normally it wipes away the moment he intercourse, right? Wipes after an intercourse. And remember that it takes 24 hours for the reaccumulation, right? It takes 24 hours. By that you can understand, if there is no smegma on these glans penis, it means that he had done intercourse recently, right? So in such cases, the cheesy secretion or smegma is absent here. So you can rule out that if it is present, that means that he has not done intercourse, right? You can just rule it out. So next you have to understand regarding this, we are going to examine now the rape victim. We have done the examination of that person, him, we have examined him, and now let us examine her, right? Let us examine her, it's a victim. So let's understand under section 164A CRPC, right? 164A CRPC, how do you remember? Because every girl thinks that she is 16 years age, you just remember that yes, she is 16 years, right? So just remember that. And how do you remember 4? R-A-P-E, rape is 4 letters and just add it, and 16 4A. So next you have to understand that this consent is needed, right? Victims need us a minimum age to give consent is 12 years, right? Minimum age, right? Minimum age to give consent is 12 years. And you have to understand doctor can be male and a female, right? And always done in presence of female witness, a female, she has to be there, right? This is what you have to understand regarding these 16.4, that is 164A CRPC. You have to minimum consent of 12 years, and you have to understand that what are we gonna use here, as we have used in Lugol's iodine in last session to him, and we are gonna use 1% toluidine. So what is this 1% toluidine? Yeah, it now this toluidine blue can detect a micro lacerations, right? Can be detected here. A micro lacerations is very important to detect. This toluidine blue is very important to detect these genital and perianal injuries, if there are any genital or perianal injuries, and this 1% toluidine blue helps in detection that micro lacerations around this genital and the perianal injuries, right? So this is what you have to understand regarding this 1% toluidine blue. And one thing we already spoke about, now 16.4. So let us see about the second point is in camera trial. So what happens in the camera trial, in the sense under procedures, under procedure here, criminal procedure, you can see 327 CRPC in criminal trial. So what's happening at this aspect is we try to not to disclose her name or some address. So what do? There are only few guys in the court. We have got a judge, you got a 2 lawyers, and you have got a accused, that is a rape and the victim here. So total we have got 1 2 3 4 members are there in the trial, right? So that court procedures. Why? Because now the identity of the victim are preserved. It should not disclose any identity or the name or the address. You're not supposed to disclose to anyone. Suppose if you disclose the punishment, disclose identity of a rape is, it comes under IPC, the punishment comes under IPC 228, right? IPC punishment is 2 years, right? So now let's try not to disclose here. Disclose. How do you remember? D is 4, just split it 2 2, right? 4 2s are 8, so 228 IPC here. So you can just remember that the punishment is 2 years. So you can just remember 2 for 2. So that's all you have to understand regarding this 327 CRPC. 327 CRPC, that is a criminal one, right? CRPC criminal one. So this is all you have to understand, criminal course, right? So now let us understand the next things, right? You have got something known as unnatural. I already spoke about the natural, that is like penis in the vagina. So what happens in unnatural, we don't have, apart from penis in vagina or male in the female. So we got, if you see about the male, you have got a homosexuality, right? Homosexual, not only male. In under unnatural we are dealing with the homosexual, where male with the male, female with the female. So in this again we have divided with the male having sex with male and female having sex with female. So let's see what's under this female. There is something known as tribadism and lesbianism. So what do you mean by tribadism, right? So what happens in this tribadism is that it is a lesbian practice. If you see the tribadism, the concept of tribadism is, it is a lesbian practice in which one partner lies on top of the other and stimulates the movement of the male in heterosexual intercourse. It's like she being on other female and just doing the movements as male does. So that's all about the tribadism, right? So it's bad, just remember tribadism. Then what is now lesbianism? Lesbianism is nothing but sexual attractions, right, between the women. That is a sexual attraction. But this tribadism, it isn't just movement as a male does in heterosexual intercourse. So that's what you have to understand. And in the active, in tribadism of lesbian, you have got an active partner and the passive partner. So active partner we call her as butch, you call it a dyke, and you have got bull dykes. So what do you mean by active here? So you have to understand the meaning of butch. It's nothing but a lesbian whose appearance and behavior are traditionally masculine, in the sense like she behaves like a male here. She's aggressive, so we call it her as the active agent as this butch. And next you have got bull dyke. It's a lesbian or masculine appearance here. So that's what you have to understand regarding this butch and this bull dyke. And next you have to understand regarding the passive here. The passive in the sense a female, a lesbian whose behavior, right, it behavior is same as traditional feminine, like she's calm, accepting all the things. It's like it's a passive, she's a passive female. And this butch and the bull dyke, all it's like a masculine. So you have to remember that they are active here. That is all he's trying to mean actually, right? So now let us understand the concepts of pseudomy here. So what do you mean by pseudomy, right? So let us understand the concepts of that. This pseudomy, it's also known as if you are having a sexual intercourse or the anal intercourse with the humans, then we call it as pseudomy. If that anal intercourse, if it is between or if it includes bestiality, right, animal, right, homosexual is animal, then then we call it as buggery, right? So it is also called as Greek love and also known as anal intercourse. So this is all the concepts of anal intercourse. They have got other name, different name. It is B for bestiality. So it's a female, sorry, it's like having with the animals. So pseudomy is the humans. And here you have to understand the concepts here is, so you have to understand two things here. The two things you have to understand, the whole thing is pedophile and gerontophile. So what do you mean by phile? Phile is nothing but it's a love, right? What is pedo? Pedo means child. Child loving. That means there are some guys who loves a child, who love to have sex with child, with anal sex. In such conditions, if you see the anal, right, the active person, he is known as pedophilia, right? He's called as what is he is called pedophile, right? Phile. Pedophile is an active partner, and child becomes passive, right? And passive agent is known as catamite, right? So these all you have to understand regarding this pedophile. Pedo means child, phile is loving, a child loving. In such scenario, having sex with the anal intercourse, the active agent is known as pedophile, right? Because he's loving the child, and passive agent is child, so catamite, C. And next we have got other things known as gerontophile, where they love to have a anal intercourse with older guys, right? So and such active agents who are involved, the active agents are known as gerontophile, and there is no specific name for the passive agent, right? So this is all you have to understand. What is pedo? What is this pedastry, right? Pedastry. So it is sexual activity involving a man and the boy is known as pederasty. So this is all you have to understand. Now let's see what's happening with that passive agent. So what are the features of this habitual passive agent? Since he's repeatedly is a passive agent and he has been underwent many sexual intercourse like anal intercourse, repeated anal intercourse. So what's happening at that? So you got a features here. The features at this aspect, if you see here, the lateral buttock traction knee. What are you going to do? You're going to put the patient in the knee elbow patient, tell him to bend, and you just pull the buttocks on either side. So when you pull the buttocks on either side, there is a complete retraction of anal sphincter. You can see this is the anus, you have got an external sphincter and this is an internal sphincter. When you move it, right, when you pull this away and move it, you can see the complete retraction is seen at that aspect. So this is the meaning of the lateral retraction test. If there is a complete retraction, then we tell this test is positive, right? And you have got other things, the anal, right? So when you look, it looks a funnel shape because of the continuous anal intercourse. It looks a funnel shaped anus, and you can see small skin tags also because of the loosening folds of the skins. You can see the skin tags also, and you can see the shaving of hair around the anus. The shaving of the hairs because it's been regularly intercoursed by the anal intercourse, so they shave the hair around the anus. And one thing you have to understand here is there is a sign known as tight sign. So what do you mean by tight sign? Tight sign, it's nothing but it's somewhat like this here. So you can just observe this. So the anal, you can see the bluish discoloration around the anal ring. Suppose if this is the anal ring, so this is the anal ring, the white one, the around the anal ring, if you see there's a bluish discoloration. And why there's a bluish discoloration? There's a bluish discoloration around anal mesh because of the dilatation of vessels. The once the vessels are dilated because of continuous this intercourse, anal intercourse, the vessels dilate, they have become so loose and they have dilated. You can see that dilated vessels as a blue ring, and that is known as tired sign. It is a bluish discoloration around the anal ring. So that's all about the dilatation of vessels. So that's all for now. In the next session we'll be dealing about the other topic. Thank you.